When people mention climate change, the first thing that comes to mind is rising temperatures and heat waves. However, a study by the University of Pretoria shows the consequences of human-induced climate change can include heavy rainfall as well, floods and tropical cyclones. Researchers found that the amount of rainfall in the country has increased or become more extreme over the past 50 years. For more on this, I'm joined by Dr. Andries Kruger, who is the Chief Scientist for Climate Service at the South African Weather Service. Dr. Kruger, thank you for making time for us on Newsfeed PM. What else have you discovered in this research?
Now, basically what we've done is to look at the last century's rainfall and look at daily rainfall measurements. And what we found was that the probability of extreme rainfall on a daily basis have increased over most of the country. That means that the probability of having a very extreme daily rainfall total in any place in the country almost have increased significantly.
So what we've come to understand about South Africa is that it has a variable climate with droughts and floods, a common feature of this variability. What are some of the consequences of this human-induced climate change?
Okay, are you talking about rainfall in general?
No, apart from rainfall, what are some of the consequences? So apart from the extreme rainfall?
Yes. Okay, the most general thing, that is observed globally is an increase in atmospheric temperatures. So in other words, you can expect more heat waves, more unprecedented maximum temperatures, a decrease in very low temperatures, like your minimum temperatures, less frost. But there is a general consensus, that we can expect more extreme weather, whether it is rainfall or temperatures or tropical cyclones, all those kind of weather events, even droughts.
So as you were looking at the past century and the rainfall, which parts of the country are likely to experience more extreme rainfall? Were you able to determine that?
Yes, basically you can take the whole country and in general, you can expect more extreme rainfall episodes or events to occur. But what we have found that is very significant, if you look in the eastern and northeastern parts of the country, because that is the part of the country where you get most of your rainfall and the highest rainfall on a daily time, then it means that the probability of having unprecedented kind of rainfall totals, the probability thereof have increased significantly. So in other words, you can get there now a higher probability of rainfall that has never occurred before.
Okay. So if we have many areas in the country that are prone to localized flooding, how can we then use this data and what you've been able to uncover to prepare better? Because the value of this research is that you use this real observed data of rainfall over South Africa for that extended period. So how can we help this? How can we use this data to help us prepare better?
Yeah, basically the observations that we are making tallies with what the climate models are saying and what the prediction is for the future. And that has a bearing on a lot of different things, basically all sectors, that is climate sensitive or weather sensitive. So it influences, for example, where and how we build infrastructure. It affects how we design infrastructure and adaptation of existing infrastructure to withstand more extreme rainfall events. The other thing that it can also influence, and which should be looked seriously at, as we saw in the floods in April last year in the Durban area, was land use practices. Because the likelihood of landslides and so on, obviously, you know, with an increase in the probability of extreme rainfall, has increased. So there are lots of different things that you should now start considering.
All right. Dr. Andries Kruger, thank you for making time for us. That's the Chief Scientist for Climate Service at the South African Weather Service.